The consortium's medical officer clicked his mandibles in amusement as the human diplomat walked into the reception hall. No exoskeleton, no natural armor, no redundant limbs, just soft, pink skin stretched over a calcium framework that looked like it might snap under a strong breeze. "Look at it," Subcommander Thex whispered to his colleague, his own chitinous plating gleaming under the lights. How did such fragile creatures even achieve spaceflight? One decent impact and they're done. The human, Ambassador David Park, heard every word. The universal translator made sure of that. He simply smiled and took his seat at the negotiation table, his movements careful and deliberate among beings twice his size and covered in natural armor. The trade negotiations were going poorly. The consortium viewed humanity as barely worth their time, a species to be exploited, not partnered with. Why negotiate fairly with creatures that could be broken so easily? Then the attack came. Zorathi pirates, heavily armed and even more heavily armored, burst through the station's walls. They were after the quantum processors the consortium had brought for trade. The security forces engaged, but Zorathi battle armor was legendary. Energy weapons barely scorched it. Ambassador Park stood slowly, loosening his tie. "Everyone behind me," Thex laughed, even as he scrambled backward. "The human thinks it can fight. With what? Your thin skin? Your breakable bones." The first Zorathi charged. Park didn't dodge. Instead, he met the charge head-on, his fist connecting with the pirate's armored chest. The sound of impact echoed through the hall. Not the wet thud of flesh on metal, but something else. Something that made physics cry. The Zorathi flew backward. Its chest plate caved in, and didn't get up. "Humans are fragile," Park said conversationally, rolling his shoulders as three more pirates advanced. "Our skin tears easily. Our bones break. We bleed." He grabbed the next attacker's arm and twisted. The limb came off with a screech of torn metal and sparking electronics. "But you're making a common mistake." He drove his elbow into another pirate's helmet, shattering it like glass. "You're confusing our hardware with our software." The remaining pirates opened fire. Park moved, not with the mechanical precision of augmented reflexes, but with something far more unsettling. He flowed like water, like a creature that had learned to dodge predators for millions of years. Shots meant for center mass hit air. His body contorted in ways that made the alien's joints ache just watching. When he reached the shooters, the real horror began. Human muscles, the consortium learned, were not like theirs. Where alien species had evolved specialized limbs for specific tasks, humans had evolved something insane. Multipurpose tissue that could reconfigure itself on demand. Slow twitch for endurance. Fast twitch for explosive power. And when pushed to the limit, when flooded with the chemical cocktail of adrenaline and survival instinct, those unarmored muscles could generate force that defied their size. Park's hand punched through battle armor like paper. His grip crushed metal and bone alike. When a pirate tried to grapple him, the human did something that made everyone in the room step back. He bit through the alien's armored neck guard. With his teeth. "We evolved on a death world," Park explained, not even breathing hard as the last pirate fell. "No natural weapons. No armor. No size advantage. Everything wanted to eat us." He wiped purple blood from his knuckles. "So we became something else. We became the thing that could eat everything back." He turned to the stunned consortium delegation. "Our bones? They're not just support structures. They're calcium-reinforced factories that produce our blood cells. Damage them and they heal stronger. Our muscles? They literally tear themselves apart and rebuild better every time we use them. Our brain? It can rewire itself, adapt to damage, and keep functioning on parts most species need intact to survive." Subcommander Thex found his voice. But you're so fragile." "We are," Park agreed, straightening his torn suit jacket. "We're bags of meat and water that die if you poke us wrong. But here's what you missed: we evolved knowing that. Every human alive is descended from ancestors who survived despite being made of paper and good intentions. We didn't grow armor. We grew the ability to function while damaged. We didn't develop redundant organs. We developed organs that could do multiple jobs when others failed. He sat back down at the negotiation table, blood still dripping from his hands. Now, shall we discuss those trade agreements again? I think you'll find our terms quite reasonable. The consortium signed everything. They also sent a priority message to their homeworld that day, updating humanity's threat classification. The soft, fragile humans were reclassified from minimal threat to death world predator. Approach with extreme caution. Because they'd learned the truth, human bodies were fragile. But what evolution had put inside those fragile shells was the most dangerous thing in the galaxy, the absolute refusal to let that fragility stop them.